start.
Yeah.
Welcome everyone to Valley Voices and Vices. Lori, can you please lead us on the pledge?
It would be my pleasure. Everyone would please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please welcome our president, Jennifer Smith.
Good morning. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters, honored guests, and distinguished Toastmasters. I'm super excited to have you here to our 33rd year anniversary. Do we look that old or young? Super excited to have you all here. I want to introduce, this is going to be so much fun because we have so many dignitaries here. So let's see if I can get everybody in here. Let's see. We have, first of all, our district director, amazing district director, Kristen Harrell. And then we have our program quality director, district program quality director, Carol Campbell. We have our district administrator, Ken Richardson. We also have Jesse Oakley, past Region 2 advisor and district director, Jesse Oakley, distinguished Toastmaster as well. We have, let's see, where are we? We have Anita Della Croce, who is our area director, A1 area director. We have Jean Dunford popping in, who is our Division B director, B1 director. No, B, just B. Okay, director. Yay. Then we have George Lund, who is our past district director and DTM as well. And we have Maria Martinez Riak, who is our past district director and DTM. We have guests. We have Nadia Gill, DTM. And we have Peter Swan, past member. And let's see, and then we have Etta, who's also a guest as well. Wow. And Jean Williams, who is our club growth director as well. Don't introduce me. Sorry. She may be in the background whenever I see the Jean. All right, so let's see. Did I get everybody? The mission of Valley Voices and Vices is to provide a supportive and learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Are there any unfinished business? All right, we had our business meeting today, and I just wanted to bring up a couple of things. For our fifth meeting, we decided that we were going to have a debate. And so we wanted to make sure that's July 30th. We want to make sure if you have anything, any topics, that you bring it to us on June 18th. And then we would vote as a club that we would all participate in the debate. Also, we will have our installation of officers on July 2nd. We will also, I am hosting Wake Up with Toastmasters on Wednesdays. So at 6 o'clock in the morning, if anybody wants to join in and pop their head and do an interview or co-host with me, you're more than welcome to do that. Let me know if you want to do that. So on that note, I want to, if there's no new business or any other officers report, anybody has anything to say? I'm reading all the chats where everyone's saying happy anniversary, so it's distracting me a little. Right, if no one has anything
Ian wants to say something.
Oh,
Jennifer, hey, Valley Voices and Vices, happy anniversary. I just want to point out that I'm also going to be one of the hosts for Wake Up with Toastmasters, and my very first guest is going to be D. George Lund, Tuesday morning at 6. So if you want to hear everything you wanted to know about realignment, but we're afraid to ask, George will tell us. Tuesday morning at 6.
So our very own D. George Lund will be in because he was very instrumental on the realignment. And yeah. Anita.
I understand that you're also one of the hosts on Wake Up.
Yes, on Wednesdays. Yep.
Okay. So it's a shared effort. Yay.
Right. Is there anything else? On that note, I would like to introduce today's Toastmaster, who is my sister. I brought her into our club, and she is so amazing. Let's give her a round of applause. Yeah.
Good morning, everyone, on this 33rd year of Valley Voices and Vices. As your Toastmaster, I picked a theme. I didn't pick the theme, but it just so happened to fall upon the anniversary. So I want to share just a little bit of a video. Jennifer, do I have to share screen?
Yeah.
I will share more about that later on in the meeting. So it's 5 minutes long, so I'm not going to go through it all the way, but each time I'll do a minute or so of the clip and everything. So our first up is our word master, and that is D. George Lund. He would describe his role and how he got started in Valley Voices and Vices for 33 years. Did you guys know? I did not know that was George in the first picture. That was a complete shock to me. I just had to look at it twice, over and over. I said, that don't even look like him. But D. George Lund, our word master for today.
Yeah, I was going to have a lot more hair and a lot less pounds too. And Maria looked like she's ready to join the Supremes. No, I joined this club when Roberta Wisnowski, who was one of the gals that worked for me, in the operations center down on West East Charleston. And she asked me to go to a Toastmaster meeting, and I looked at her like a deer in the headlights. But I went anyway, and when I walked into the room, I knew most of the people because it was all Valley Bank employees. And so that's how I got started. And then Maria joined a year or so later. So we're the old timers for this club. So today, when I was looking for a word, the word I came up with was commemoration. It's a noun. It's a service or a celebration in memory of some person or an event. To use it in a sentence, and Peter will like this, he remained a Boston fan favorite at commemorations of the Celtics championships he had been a part of. So please try to use the word today. I will also be looking for best uses of grammar and anything else that I hear that I tweaks my ear. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, George. Our next person is Peggy Prince, and she's our Minute Master for today, and she will tell us how she got involved with Valley Voices and why she stayed.
Thank you, fellow Toastmasters and Cynthia. How did I get into Valley Voices and Vices? I used to have an account at the credit union there 30-something years ago. So, and you were close by to the house where I was at, and I had just had a recent demotion. So I kind of came in with my tail between my legs, feeling very sorry for myself. And Toastmasters is a great way to regain your confidence. And a really funny part is I had a bad experience with some of the banks with the foreclosures and all that happened in 2008. Then I realized, oh my God, I'm in here with a bunch of bankers. And that's kind of scared me a little bit. But then I realized it was a great way to heal some of my wounds and recover from things, and realize that the bankers were human too. And they also had their vices. It was a great way for me to pull my life together and have debts forgiven, and even hear speeches too about people that went through the massive foreclosure episode. And one thing I have to mention, just this week, I kind of reunited with my ex-husband and got a house with him. Why is he so nice to me? Probably because I'm nicer to him and I can deal with people better. But this week, speaking of online banking, we didn't have the internet some 30 years ago, and I had a very harsh lesson to learn just this week about using somebody else's debit card to the tune of about $20,000 that was missing from his account. I thought he was going to kill me, but I took Monday off. We went to the bank and combed through every single charge. I wish I could get members in Valley Voices and Vices like those charges went. There was like 10 a day, little dinky ones, only about $20, $30. But last night about 10:30, the money's back in the account. Whatever. It's a great way to resolve any ugly things in your life. If you can join Toastmasters and learn how to deal with life's rough spots, I think it's good for everybody, whether you're a banker, whether you're a insurance salesman, whether you're a title agent, whatever you do, you've got to deal with some nasty and ugly situations. And for some reason, with Toastmasters behind you like that, it works. Everything works better. So thank you all for being Toastmasters and joining us today.
Okay, thank you very much, Peggy. Sorry. Our next person is Maria, and she's our 33rd anniversary lady, her and George, and she's been here from the beginning. Maria, tell us how you got involved and why. And she's our table topic master too. Maria.
Thank you, Cynthia. Well, I joined 27 years ago, not quite 33, but I still remember because I have a copy of my application, April 30th, 1994. And I joined not because I wanted to or ever knew about Toastmasters, but I was actually forced to join by my boss. I did. It's a long story. George knows who that person was, and and not a good person, but he did do me a great favor that he'll never know that how great of a favor it was. But I was at the operations center at Bank of America, so I was forced to go. And George can tell you a lot about that story, but it was terrifying for me, but somehow I made it through. I survived the first speech. And somehow, as Toastmasters goes, I ended up becoming an area governor at the time, an area director. Like 3 years later, George, it was after the whole Bank of America experience and all that, where George was already on the leadership roles. And that's one of the things in the club. There were people that have been on the leadership roles. So as it was, of course, you know, they push you along. And once I got in, I couldn't get out. And there I went, moving along. I think when I was an area governor, George was what would be now the club growth director. And in those years, we used to go to Bakersfield. And I know people wanted to have our own district, but there is something special you all missed out by not going to Bakersfield 3 or 4 times a year. Let me tell you, it was something else. Lots and lots of stories. I think most of the pictures that Cynthia is using, I provided to her. And she couldn't believe that was George in the picture. And I had my hair, and I had hair at the time, see, and it wasn't gray. So I was younger at one time, but it's been a blast. I cannot believe I've been doing this Friday morning thing for 27 years. And I have missed very few meetings. Good or bad, you're stuck with me because I'm not leaving yet. I'm going to do topics, and here we go. There are 2 tracks or major components in Toastmasters: the communication side, the speaking side, or the leadership side. Which one of the 2 have you found most beneficial to you, and why? Ken?
Well, thank you, Madam Topics Master. I'm so pleased to be here to commemorate this special occasion. I find that I like the communications track better. Believe it or not, I'm a bit of an introvert. So I preferred most of the time to sort of be in the background and do things like be the secretary and what have you. And I joined Toastmasters in 2007, early risers Toastmasters, in fact, because I wanted to learn how to be a better speaker. I was doing a lot of presentations back in those days. So I think for me personally, the communication track is my favorite. But you know, I've also learned a lot about leadership, so I really appreciate both. Madam Topics Master.
Thank you, Ken. And boy, can I relate to that. Evaluations are a very important part of the Toastmasters programs. As an evaluator, you help other speakers. But how has being an evaluator helped evaluating others? How has that helped you, Lori?
Madam Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters, and most welcome guests. Being an evaluator has helped me on so many different levels. It has really helped me in my job and personally, but I think it really helps me receive feedback. I think for so many years, I was such a perfectionist and I had such a hard time receiving feedback, but being an evaluator allowed me to now receive feedback and realize that it's someone's opinion and everyone would have a different opinion. It also has allowed me to be a better evaluator and allow me to give that feedback. So I think being an evaluator, being a Toastmaster has just been phenomenal experience for me. And I think the evaluation part of Toastmasters is what sets it apart from any other organization. Madam Topics Master.
Thank you, Lori. Why did you join Toastmasters and what has your experience been like, Francisca?
I joined Toastmasters in December after a conversation with Maria. We tend to get together often, and it was a topic that I wanted to bring up to her and she was going to bring up to me. So I'm a relatively new member. I'm so excited to see so many people on there. So I guess I'll say that Maria dragged me into Toastmasters, but she really didn't. But I've worked with Maria for many years too at the organization that I'm currently working on at. And I always remember her coming in late on Fridays, and I knew that she was going somewhere, and it was very productive for her. So probably 7, 8 years later, it piqued my interest, and I am just enjoying every moment of it. And it's really helping me grow in my current position because I don't get to retire just yet, just like Maria did. And thank you, Madam Topics Master.
Thank you, Francisca. Another important part of Toastmasters that we don't necessarily tell people when they join, but they find out, and it's a very important part of the program, is contests. What has been your experience and why should people compete? Peter.
Madam Table Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters, and most welcome guests. As many of you can attest to, especially in this club, I have competed in multiple different contests, everything from the international speech contest to table topics to evaluation to tall tales and everything in between. The first contest that I actually competed in was the Tall Tales contest, where I gave a speech about how Las Vegas was formed by a bottle being found in the desert and the name Las Vegas being spelled backwards, and then holding up this piece of paper, this map, and realizing that it had been spelled backwards. So contests to me are incredible, right? Because you're able to tell a story about perhaps an impact on your life. For example, the international speech contest, I would have to say, is my favorite because it goes to the finals and you're able to hear about personal journeys that people have perhaps gone through. And I think that is the one reason amongst many that we should compete is, number one, you're able to actually tell your story to an audience. I think that sometimes there's someone in that audience that needs to hear that story at that moment, that exact moment in time, to continue pushing forward. Number two, I would say the impact of stories or the impact of competing is that it allows us to grow as individuals as well, to hone in on areas perhaps where we need to improve, but also to continue elevating the strengths that we already exhibit. And then number three, going back to that original question that you asked, which was the communication and the leadership aspect, I think by competing, it also allows us to become leaders because, as Lori mentioned, we're able to give feedback, receive feedback, and continue competing and accelerate down that path. Those are a couple of reasons why I love competing, why others should compete, Madam Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Peter. Well, here we are celebrating 33 years. And obviously we're very proud of that as a club. Unfortunately, some clubs start and they don't last very long for different reasons, maybe a year or two and they disappear. And here, Valley Voices and Vices, 33 years, 27 of them kind of almost, a good part of my life I have spent on this club. Why do you think Valley Voices and Vices has been able to survive and exist for 33 years, George?
Madam Table Topics Master, at this commemoration of our 33rd year as a Toastmaster Club, you know, clubs, as you said, clubs form, clubs exist, clubs go away. And I think that one of the things that has been most beneficial to Valley Voices and Vices is the fact that the people that are in the club, especially some of us that have been here a long, long time, understand that clubs are very cyclical. They go up and they go down. They increase their memberships. We've had membership up above 30 a couple of times. And then we've had membership down in the 8, 9, 10 range. So I think if you understand that the clubs are going to go through that cycle, that you have then the wherewithal to stick out or stick with the club through those down periods, because you know that eventually you're going to spark interest out there in the community somewhere, and that you will begin to grow and bring in new members. And so I think that's really important for clubs to understand that you do go through those periods of ups and downs, and that you just need to persevere and hang in there, because if you do, and you bring in that new energy and that new enthusiasm from new members, that you will survive and continue to grow. Madam Topic Master.
Thank you, George. And finally, my final question is this. I know that everyone present today is currently a Toastmaster. But if we had someone who wasn't, or we encounter someone who isn't, and we invite them to join, why, if you have to tell somebody, why should you join Toastmasters? Carol.
Thank you, Madam Topics Master. When I think of talking to people about Toastmasters, I have the ability to bring in my job. I'm a school teacher, and a lot of school teachers think that just because they stand in front of people every day, all day long, that they're good communicators. I need to remind them occasionally that their communication style may need some adjusting, such as my own has needed some adjusting. I try to take in the lessons that I have learned through my 13 years of being a Toastmaster. And I try to express to them the fact that you're not just learning about communication styles, you're learning about leadership styles, and you're gaining a family. Who wouldn't want to gain a family? I realize that we're not blood, but we are a Toastmasters D115 family. Madam Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Carol. And that concludes Table Topics. I return control to our Toastmaster, Cynthia.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you for all those questions. It was very interesting, and I really enjoyed them. Send your votes to Maria. Cast your votes, what?
Let's get a timer's report.
Oh, timer's report, that's right. Timer's report from Francisca.
So the timer's report, Ken spoke for 47 seconds. Lori spoke for 78 seconds. I spoke for 60 seconds. Peter spoke for 90. George spoke for 90 seconds. And Carol spoke for 58 seconds.
Thank you, Francisca. Send your votes to Maria. Here's another clipping of the video. come to the part of our speaking part, and Miss Nicole, she's out of Austin, and she's been with us for a couple of months, almost a year now, or a year and a half. So here's our speaker, and she will tell a little bit before she speaks why she joined Valley Voices and Vices and Toastmasters. Nicole. Oh, I'm sorry. Who's her evaluator? Lori? Okay, Lori, can you evaluate her speech, please? Not evaluate, but tell about what she's speaking, her objectives.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Nicole is going to be delivering today her speech, Connect with Storytelling, from the Leadership Development Path from Level 3. Her purpose is to practice using a story within a speech or giving a speech that is a story. Her time is 5 to 7 minutes, and her title is Finding My Voice in Valley Voices and Vices. Please welcome Nicole Henderson.
All right. Thank you, Lori. Thank you, Cynthia. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests. I had no idea I would be speaking on this memorable day, on this amazing day. Of course, you guys know I have not been here for about 6 weeks. So to come in and see all these happy faces, it's truly a delight. Finding my voice in Valley Voices and Vices. My experience can be summed up in 3 words: terror, calm, and fear. Go with me. October 1, 2019. The temperature was 73 degrees. It was warm, it was good. The terror starts. My voice tells me, you have to drive 30 minutes in traffic at 6:30 a.m. in the morning. Of course, Cynthia invites me to this wonderful club, but unbeknownst to me, I have no idea where I'm going or what I'm doing. Being a Toastmaster previously, I know I'm going to a Toastmasters meeting. That's all the information I have. So my inner voice, myself, we're driving along, and Miss Cynthia tells me it's at a bank. Who holds a Toastmasters meeting at a bank? I have no familiarity of where I am, where I'm going, and when I park, I see a car dealership. This doesn't look like a bank to me. What's going on? Again, who holds a meeting at a bank at 7:30 in the morning? So I arrive and I get there and I ring the doorbell. This tall gentleman comes to the door with a big wide grin. My anxiety levels start to decrease. My terror goes to calm. This gentleman directs me in the back of the bank. It's a little dark going in. Again, my terror goes down to calm. And after taking about 10 steps in this dimly room, I go into a well-lit room where I see whiteboards and amazing flags and ribbons. This looks familiar. I am greeted by George, Maria, Peggy, Matt, and Jennifer. All these are very nice people. My inner voice tells me, Nicole, you're gonna be okay. You're gonna find your voice, just be patient. Cynthia will be here soon. Where is she? Now I'm at the calm period. I feel welcome in the meeting. Cynthia finally arrives and demands from her little sister, where is my coffee? And her little sister, Jennifer Smith, here you go, sis. with the biggest enthusiastic smile ever. My inner voice says, Lord, please give me that kind of energy, especially in this meeting. After Cynthia comes to life, she asks, how you doing, Nicole? Okay, Cynthia, the coffee is working. George and Maria respectfully and sarcastically engage each other as the meeting starts on time. The speakers are very, very nice, and they speak very well. And my inner voice says, I hope to be a distinguished Toastmaster, just like them one day. My inner voice tells me, yes, you will, Nicole, and you will be just fine. In conclusion, relief. My inner voice says, you're safe here. Now you understand you're with bankers. Now you understand the title of this amazing group. And now you understand that there is some serious, commemorable people in this room. The challenge for me was to get to the meeting on time. I did, but I didn't see Cynthia when I got there. And as you guys know, no shade, Cynthia is never on time. So I was terrified. But seeing Jennifer brought me calm. The coffee brought Cynthia to a place where she was very, very nice as I was sitting beside her. I got to meet and greet some amazing and distinguished Toastmasters. And I got a chance to deliver some purposeful and humorous speeches. Not only did I find my voice, but I found my second Friday family within Valley Voices and Vices. Thank you for allowing me to present this particular speech on this commemorable day and celebration. Happy anniversary to this amazing club. Thank you for keeping me after I moved to Austin and not kicking me out. And I am just so blessed to be able to be here and deliver this speech on this memorable day. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Miss Nicole. Yeah, 7:30 in the morning is a challenge. I don't know how you guys did it for 33 years and no one really said, hey, let's change it to like 9 o'clock. You know, but it's okay. It's only one day a week. I do get off like once a month, you know, or every other month or something, so that's okay. Our general evaluator today is my sister Jennifer, who dragged me, or who asked me, hey, come and join. Nevertheless, when I first walked into that meeting, she was sitting in the front, and my mind went, oh, good gosh, because I'm always late, as you guys would find, as you guys know. I'm always late, but she had to sit in the front, and I'm sitting up there, I said, oh, and I have to walk past these people to sit in the front at I usually get there about 6:40 or something, or 7, what time do you 7:40? You know, but yeah, my sister. But I really have enjoyed Valley Voices and Vices. I really have enjoyed Toastmaster. It has taught me a lot about leadership and about speaking. And I know George is counting all the ums with me right now, but that's okay. But it's a very good meeting, very good club. I really enjoy this club. Jennifer, our general evaluator.
What a great meeting. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. My part of the meeting is to evaluate our meeting. So we did start on time. Maria, our fabulous Sergeant at Arms, keeps us on time and makes sure that we start our meeting on time. Our word of the day from George, commemoration, good word, and we'll actually find out how many times our members have used that word. Peggy, I love your Minute Master about everything works better with Toastmasters. During the past 2.5 years, I love your stories and how Toastmasters is in your everyday life. Everything that it seems that you do goes back to Toastmasters. Maria, 27 years. Right, 27 years. I commend you for being committed and loyal to Toastmasters and to your own personal growth. And of course, I was listening to a few things in the morning this morning, and it still talked about, John Maxwell even said, even as we age, we never stop growing and learning. So that, I congratulate you for continuing. Our topics, you did a really good job. I cannot wait to edit and do some recordings for our table topics, because every time we have an open house and we talk about Toastmasters and the history of Toastmasters and what our roles are and why we stay in Toastmasters, I thought this was a unique way of getting out the roles and why people are in Toastmasters. You did an amazing job. This is the part of our meeting where we do evaluate and have that immediate, what do I want to call it, feedback on our speakers. And today, Nicole's evaluator is Lori Leonard. So let's hear how Lori evaluated Nicole's speech.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and especially Nicole. What a phenomenal speech to commemorate this important event, our 33rd anniversary, and this amazing project, the storytelling project. I loved your speech. I was laughing almost from start to finish. And I so miss our face-to-face meetings. And to relive your very first meeting was just phenomenal, because I remember you coming in and being a little nervous and waiting on Cynthia. And yes, Cynthia's always late. But you had some amazing things that you did with this particular speech. You always have such wonderful word usage in your speeches, and today was no different. Your delight, terror, calm, fear, and then you even put it into the words: terror, calm, fear. And what I really loved was your outstanding use of pause. I rang the doorbell. And you're waiting for someone to come and answer the door. I do have a few suggestions for you when you give this speech again, because I really think you could. You could use this speech for a humorous speech contest. I think it would be wonderful. You could really build up the gestures, I believe. For example, when Jennifer, it's like Cynthia comes in, "Where's my coffee?" And Jennifer, "Here it is, sis." And you just hand out the coffee. Also, a lot of it was in a narrative voice. And I think you could actually, just as I demonstrated, use the voices, particularly with Jennifer and Cynthia, because I think that that would be quite humorous. And as you spend a lot of time and you're such good friends with Cynthia and Jennifer, I think you could do their voices quite well. I love this speech. We are incredibly blessed to have you as a member. We're never kicking you out. If anything, as I said, we miss our face-to-face meetings, but if there's one thing that's been wonderful and a blessing with the pandemic is being able to continue the meetings on Zoom. We're able to continue to have you as a member of Valley Voices and Vices, even though you're in Austin. So thank you so much for sharing this incredible speech with us and your amazing storytelling abilities, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Lori. I cannot wait, Nicole, when you do this speech again for our humorous contest, that I cannot wait for you to see how you incorporated those tips from Lori. And I remember that day as well, and I really do miss the room. I miss bringing Cynthia her coffee every morning, because it is every Friday morning, because it is a little early for her. I can't wait till we all get to meet face to face again. Can we have a timer's report for Nicole and for Lori, please?
Nicole spoke for 5 minutes and 58 seconds. Lori's evaluated for 3 minutes and 22 seconds. And I'm not sure if I need to also include Jennifer's general evaluation. That was, nope, okay. So that is my report.
Thank you, Francisca. You did a really good job. You did it better than I did. Sometimes I forget that I'm the timer. All right, then we have our word of the day, our word master, George, to give us a report on how we use the word and how we actually spoke.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. Well, the word of the day was used once by me, twice by Nicole in her speech. Lori used it once, and Ken used it once. Some word usage that I heard today. Nicole used the word memorable and purposeful. Lori used phenomenal twice, and I always like that word, and face-to-face. Francesca used dragged me and piqued my interest. Peter used incredible and accelerate, and Carol used lessons learned. Peggy had 1 awe, and Jennifer, you had 3. That's my report, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, George. And that's not bad, since I am speaking a lot. All right, on that part of the meeting, I think I'm done. Yes, I don't get to be general evaluator very often. So on that time of the meeting, then I return the control back to the president or presiding officer, and that would be me.
No, you turn it back over to our Toastmaster.
Oh, back to the Toastmaster. Oh, thank you. I'm going to return the control back to Cynthia.
Thank you, Madam Evaluator. Here is our conclusion to the video. Happy anniversary, Valley Voices and Vices. It was a great pleasure being your Toastmaster today. I hand it back over to Jennifer, our president.
I forgot during my general evaluation to talk about the video. Cynthia, what a great video. Thank you for that. That was amazing. So I love to see from the beginning to where we are now. And it definitely is kind of teary-eyed because we're not eating together. So I will not cry, but we need to hurry up and eat. I miss you guys. So on that note, do we have any comments from our guests? Did I do everything else right? Yes. Any comments from our guests? Jesse.
Fantastic meeting, and it's always good to see the videos as well as the blast from the past. And if I were to rate this type of meeting an anniversary party, I would give it a highly illustrious 5 strawberry rating meeting.
Thank you for coming, Jesse, and thank you for that 5 strawberry rating. Ken.
Yes, I would like to echo what Jesse said. This has been a wonderful meeting. It's nice to see old friends that I haven't seen for a while. And I'm anxious to get back to meeting in person. In fact, our Early Risers Club will hold its first in-person meeting this coming Wednesday at Skinny Dugan's. It's actually going to be a hybrid meeting. So we're going to have a bit of an open house. We're expecting it to be a little rough as our first time at BAT, but we're going to get back to meeting in person. And if you can join us, we meet at 6:30 in the morning at Skinny Dugan's, which is on Charleston, just west of Valley View. Thank you.
Ken, I am putting that on my calendar right now. So early risers, that means I would have to leave my house at 6 o'clock to make it by 6:30.
If you're a little late, we'll be forgiving since our first time back.
Okay. Anita.
Yes, this was a very fun commemorative meeting. I thoroughly enjoyed the video. I missed the picture of, there were 2 dogs that used to come with one of your former members that I remember being mascots. And it was helpful for me because this is too early for me as well. I was always late, Cynthia. As I chatted you, I was known as a 10 o'clock scholar at school, in high school. I mean, things have gotten better, but I understand coffee in the morning, but I tried 6:30 in the morning. It was really rough for me. I fell asleep before table topics. It was at the table for early risers. But this was really a fun meeting. Vegas Stars is having this Sunday in what, two days, I can't remember. We're having a speech-a-thon. We still need a couple of spots filled for speakers. So if you're interested, email me and I'll see if I can't get you into the slot. But this is fun. 33 years. Congratulations.
Thank you, Anita. And yes, try to make it to Sunday. I'm not sure if I can or not, but Sunday, early risers, and I think that's not early risers, but Vegas Stars. Mm-hmm. And I think that's on the district's Facebook page as well. And I know it's on the Club Growth. I'm pretty sure it's on that. So to get in more information. Peter, you're on mute.
Madam President, fellow Toastmasters, most welcome guests. First, thank you for allowing me to attend today's meeting. As mentioned, I came across the invite on Facebook last week and automatically had to attend today's meeting. A couple of things come to mind. One, Jennifer, like you said, trying to not get emotional here because this club means so much to me. I actually shared a story last weekend with Jesse Oakley around how when I left this club, the club had put together a couple of gifts or items, and I still am holding on to those items and those gifts because this club means so much to me and has shaped who I am today. Second, I absolutely loved the video that we put together. So many wonderful memories there of different moments within the club that definitely stand out to me. So that just filled my heart so much. And third, I have to give a huge kudos and shout out to Maria Martinez Rioch. Again, I shared the story with Jesse Oakley last weekend around how a couple of years ago I had competed in a contest and hadn't placed in that contest. And I wasn't able to share this during a table topic session. And I remember Maria actually turned around and said, don't quit, don't give up, continue within Toastmasters. Toastmasters is for you. And I took that message to heart and continued forward in Toastmasters. And for that, I'm forever indebted. So for Maria, thank you for that. I'm excited to also let everybody know that I am going to be the Division I Director for Boston Toastmasters out here. So I'm very, very excited about that. But again, that's because Maria gave me that courage to continue pushing forward. So for that, I'm very, very excited. And last thing I'll say, you can see Boston Bruins because I live in Boston, but of course, Golden Knights. So let's go Golden Knights. Game 7, we got this. I'm praying, so here we go. Madam President, thank you.
Thank you, Peter, for popping in. And it seems so far away that you are, but thanks to Zoom, you're right here. So thank you for that. And then Kristen, she has her hand up.
Thank you, Jennifer. I just wanted to say congratulations and happy anniversary to Valley Voices and Vices. There aren't a lot of clubs that have lasted this long, and it's definitely a testament not only to the club, but to George and Maria, because my experience of clubs is that if you have at least one or two cheerleaders that are willing to keep going through the roller coaster and keep the club alive, then that is what really cements a club's history. So when I see a club that's lasted this long, I always know there's at least one, if not two cheerleaders. So congratulations to all of you, but especially George and Maria. Thank you for keeping this club going as long as you have. And I look forward to all the clubs getting to be back to in person as much as they can or want to. So I have my fingers crossed for you guys that that happens soon for you. But in the meantime, we have a couple of hybrid open houses. My clubs are going back to in-person. My Henderson Toasters, our very first in-person meeting will be June 3rd at Henderson City Hall. So we are having a welcome back open house at noon. And Morelli House Toastmasters, we've been hybrid now for a few weeks. We will be also having an open house on June 3rd, which is a Thursday, but that club is at 6:30 p.m. and we're at Los Cucos over on Rainbow in the 215. So all of you are welcome to join either one or both of those.
I have on my calendar, Kristen, for 6:30 Morelli House. I can't make it to the Henderson Toaster. I have to go get my second shot.
Okay.
All right, let's see. Anybody else? I don't see. Etta?
I just wanted to say I enjoyed being here to commemorate the 33rd anniversary of Valley Voices and Vices.
Well, thank you for attending, Etta. All right, it is 8:30 and we need next week's schedule.
Thank you, Madam President. For next week, I have George as Toastmaster, Cynthia as Ward Master, Grammarian, and Minute Master, Jennifer for topics. Francisca will be giving her, will be the speaker and finishing her level 1, yay. General evaluator is Peggy. I will be evaluator number 1 and your timer.
All right, so on that note, if we do not have any discussion, any further discussions, oh, I forgot the most important part of our meeting. We have anything to brag about?
Jesse had something too.
What was that?
Jesse had his hand up too.
No,
we were just waving goodbye.
Oh, he's wait. Oh, we were waving probably goodbye to Kristen. So, right, anything to brag about? We can have.
Oh yes. George had a brag. Did you have a brag, George? Yes, he did.
Wednesday morning at 8:27, my granddaughter was born, 8 pounds, 9 ounces, and her name is Leona Name Lund.
Oh, congratulations.
Congratulations, George.
Congratulations, George.
And I did not give George also as much credit too for being as loyal and faithful to this club. He does such a great job at leading our group and kind of being, I don't know, the voice of reason to us newbies. So I really appreciate your loyalty and commitment to us as well. And Ken, I have to look at my calendar. I saw your message, so just in case I go by. So I'll keep in touch with you. All right. If there's nothing else, it is 8:32. It's moving day for me and craziness. So if there's nothing else, I will see you guys next week. Thank you, all the guests who attended.